Now, let's hear from the Minister of Youth and Sports. Finally, of course, we allow our guy in the studio, Hamdan, who is currently here patiently waiting. We discuss because selling the national colors, trying to push Gambians to have that sense of pride is important. But first, let's hear from the Minister of Youth and Sports. Have they settled the debt of the players? Can you please give us the latest update of the unpaid bonus?
No. You want to call it unpaid bonus? No, it has been paid. It has been paid like we said yesterday after the emergency meeting and the conversations we had with the head of state. And like I said, it's really nobody had any intention to go into what happened yesterday. It's never anybody's desire. And like I always tell people, if there is anything that is good for sports, I would be one of the persons that would be the proudest being the minister today. And of course, I know that if things go wrong, I'll also be the one that will be crucified. So we want to ensure that we do what is right as long as we know about it and the resources are available. But my position still remains the same. We paid this just to ensure that the team moves on to Ivory Coast. But as a ministry, as a government, we were never privy to the conversations that happened. And like the captain said today, that they had this conversation a long time ago. I know there was a conversation, but to the level that there was an agreement that was reached that we are supposed to pay each player 15,000 euros if they qualify, we were never aware. So when the problem happened, of course, we get into resolving it, and we have resolved it. And they took up a position, refused the 13 million that we are offering, and they said 38 million, and that has been paid this morning through a check that the captain himself said is confirmed that it has been deposited in the GFF account, and they will get their money as soon as possible. So we move on into the tournament and look forward to getting some successes, just like we did the last time.
Yes, today an unfortunate thing happened. Of course, they've already boarded their plane, and we have also seen they could not reach to where they want to go because of some technical problems with the plane. Now finally they are back here. How was the reaction from the government and of course from all sectors of life, because we know the human face is also very much important?
That's rather unfortunate, and like you said, the flight, of course, was here on time, 11 o'clock, and because of the problem earlier, and they said, well, we must confirm that the check is paid before we leave. So it took them 3 hours. It was delayed at the tarmac, and when it's time to leave, they said they realized the flight was hot, and they told the pilot, the crew. But they said that's normal. Everybody who travels in flight, sometimes you see these things, but they'll tell you when they're in the air, it will cool down, and it did not, so it has to turn back. But again, that's a mechanical problem with the flight, and we've taken actions to resolve it. Ivory Coast was chartered for a reason. There were several submissions that were made, but we believe that we are going to Ivory Coast, and the best option is to choose that airline. Of course, they were also more reasonable in terms of costing, not necessarily the cheapest, but in terms of costing and what they're offering. So the flight is taking for a reason. We have the option to fly players to Abidjan and they travel by land. But then there's also an option of flying players from here directly to Yamoussoukro. Yamoussoukro is not an international airport, it's a local airport, but they open it purposely for AFCON. But then they also have a carriage weight that the flight cannot be more than a particular number of tons. And so they brought a flight that can be able to land in Yamoussoukro to avoid dropping in Abidjan and traveling 2 hours by land. So that's the reason why they brought that flight. But size of a flight is not the issue. It's that every flight, as far as it can go. The capacity of that flight is 63, but there were 48 people, 48 passengers from our side. But cut story short, they have resolved it, and there's a flight that they are sending out this night to come and then take the players out. They wanted to fix it and then players board and then go back again. But again, as a matter of safety, we opted to say no, it might not be the best option to use a flight that already has experienced oxygen issues, that they should send another flight. And they're sending another flight. So the information I got is that it should be here by 1 o'clock, and then they should be ready to leave by 2 a.m. and then be in Yamoussoukro by 4:30 in the morning.
So there are so many things going on, with the preparation. We have seen we got setbacks, from players complaining of, bonuses which were not captured, as you said, by the government, and also that has been resolved, and we have seen finally the flight issue. Now that also is been resolved. Will this have any consequences in the performance of the boys as well?
Well, we hope not. I know psychology is very important in football, and when things like this happen, it can have an emotional impact on the players. But I've seen them here train, and they don't look like they are distressed. And I believe that the face that they saw here, the stamina, the spirit that they saw here at the pitch, it will continue that way. And we hope that nothing will happen again, and they will be able to be in Yamoussoukro in the morning and continue on their journey. Can it have an impact? Maybe, maybe not. Like I said, I don't think so. I think we have some strong spirited people, and the good part is that all of them are playing in Europe. Maybe people here might not understand travel arrangements very well, but if you live somewhere else and you've entered into planes multiple times, in fact, one of the air hostess will always announce that in case of loss of cabin oxygen, those kind of things, you hear that. So it means that there's a possibility for those things to happen. So I think they must have left that behind them. I spoke with some of them here, and we look forward to seeing them off, and then they go and do us good.
Finally, before Kasim comes in, the NCC issued a statement. They want to refund back to some of the fans who came here. If they can prove that they have maybe a copy of the ticket or receipt, which can be very much difficult sometimes. But we have seen some of them who have the opportunity to be here, to be connected somehow with the players tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's true, because we also have a responsibility as an NCC to be accountable to people. When we agreed to the suggestion to introduce a fee for people to go in, it was one, to raise the funds, add to the fundraising, but two, to also control the amount of people that will come into the stadium, because the stadium is still under renovation. If you make it open and free, we know the tendency. It's going to get out of hand, or you cannot control it. So those were the two reasons why the fee was introduced. But of course, they did not come here just to be waved at. They came to watch the players train. And for the fact that that didn't happen, we thought it is a responsibility of the NCC to apologize to the people, but also ask that if you have a proof of payment, buying a receipt, buying a ticket, you can come and get refunded. If there is no proof, but maybe there is something that you can show that you bought a ticket, then people can do that. And then some of them were using an online app to buy. That's easy. You can easily refund it there. But those that bought the physical ticket are the ones that we are referring to. Maybe a copy or the piece of the ticket would do. Because also you must have something to show. Because it cannot be everybody can come and say, well, I paid 200 to enter, and you said, okay, let's take your money. So that's why we said Friday they will be here to refund anybody that comes in with that receipt. And I now told my people, I think this is the best thing that we can do, at least in the minimum. But the players were here, not well advertised, because it was a prom arrangement, but we saw quite a number of people came. So hopefully that can ease up the frustration of the Gambian.
All right, Minister of Youth and Sports, Bakary Badjie, they are speaking to Afri Radio and LBD Sports, of course, because we are running out